Welcome to House Blood, where strangers are family. Every episode contains graphic content, including but not limited to copious amounts of blood, unnecessary cursing, death of all ages, be they infants or immortals, fantasy drug use, nudity, mentions of sex, and sound effects of various qualities. We cannot stress enough that this is mature content with adult themes. You have been warned. I hope you're ready.
All right. Welcome to House Blood. I'm Gray, your DM and host. We're a D&D 5e podcast, currently playing the adventure Hangman Worms of Frostheart. Our party were former prisoners, once covert operatives for Giuliano's government, as they face sentient calamities led by the Rebirth Bastion, a Genasi army, threatening world destruction. Recently, our misfit group confronted an emotional vampire in Sheum, a town made of a thinking slime mimic, a sentient calamity. After a fierce battle and defeating the vampire, they face consequences, like a curse from a hag. Now free from imprisonment, the party journeys on, even delivering cookies to another hag. However, a party member is cursed to kill a living seal, leading them to a dungeon with a Trask burial site. Breaking the curse involved an unusual pact, transplanting an elder brain into a Trask skeleton. The necromancer, Phoenix, a fire genasi, was defeated, and the Trask skeleton remains within the ward. Venturing south to ruins with a dormant teleportation circle, our party discovers a world map with 4 sets of 2 glowing symbols. Their next target is in Lacus within the Titan Sea. Rather simple, don't you think? I'm joined here today by our players, Mega.
Ditto, I am Mega, and I play Eddie, the Outer Void Triton Bastard class. I also play Eddie, as well as any other similarly named character that has yet to be introduced or has already been.
As well as Nita.
Hi there, Nita here. I play Aluya Oblak, the human cleric sorcerer.
As well as Rakuzen.
Hello everyone, I'm Rakuzen. I play Mavet Sohafidash, the sap that holds the party together back after a small hiatus.
As well as Moon.
Hello! My name is Moonleen. I play a character named, I would say Seer, who is a Genasi fire alchemist artificer who's always on fire.
Can you bring your mic a little closer, please?
Of course, this is better.
Yep, a lot better. Thank you. All right. With how long between the last session and this session, I doubt anyone in the party can give me a firm recap of what happened. I'm doubtful, but I'm willing to dribble the ball here, as the kids say. The old kid in the skate park.
Well, actually, I think it's pretty simple to say, because, after the party met up in the cemetery, crypt, what have you.
Yep.
It's and arranging, making the full arrangements for the dead body replacement for Captain Valentine. The party split off with Aluya and Seer going off to have their meeting with the Rebirth Bastion and delivering the body at the same time. getting a real 2-for-1. Uh, so while Eddie, Captain Valentine, and Mavet stayed back at the mansion, considering they technically already met certain members and didn't have a great relationship, on top of the fact that Eddie's family isn't really exactly well liked by the organization's allies in this area either. So it was just better off not going. And frankly, just a lot of shit happened with Seer and Aluya. Just they did manage to deliver the body and even give the cursed sword to Captain Eddie, no relation yet. They were then met with a scaleless dragon. It's that which the organization meant to beseech in order to actually don't remember specifically what they wanted the dragon to do. It's but the dragon themselves got a little bit distracted by an item in the girl's possession. It's but they were able to successfully weasel their way out of making a very unfortunate agreement. And the dragon left with their own prize without ever actually having to do anything.
Yep.
So classic evil dragon tactics.
Damn right. Yep. Bully people, take shit, run away.
But make them think that you did something for them.
The organization wanted the dragon to call forth a sentient calamity across the island. And the dragon said, all right, cool. What are you going to give me for it? And they gave him a very nice looking gem, a Ambrose Pearl. And he's like, cool, I want that. And just took it.
And made them forget.
Yep.
Which is the real key dick move there.
Yep. Give yourself 2d10. That was an excellent recap.
Good job.
Yep, let's see that roll. Other than that, I'm trying to think of how I want to start this session. I did have a strong beginning in mind, but we got just hearing everyone's plans and ideas of what they want to get done. I just kind of want to jump into it. Just want to really get to it here. Let's get a little bit of social intriguing. All right. Excellent. 14 gold. All right.
So just to ask, I'm not currently with the party.
You are with Eddie. Yeah.
Unless
you know what?
Want to continue working with your letters, it's with the doorman.
Yeah. What is Mavet doing at this moment? Is he within the same quarters as Eddie? Is he doing patrol? What is he doing?
Well, I would probably, after learning some of the letters last session, go for a nice stroll, see the plant life around Eddie's dad's manor.
Okay.
Seeing what's up, maybe spreading some spores around.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you can easily say that. Let me look at something here.
Just continue spreading your seed all over the place.
That's what I gotta do.
Sorry, I'm just double checking rules here before I continue. Okay. This. Yeah, I think I have an idea. So, this is what I'm gonna do with you, bud. What I want you to do is I am going to offer you a perception check. Keep in mind, it is 9 o'clock at night. Let's get that timer started. And me offer you, Mabet, a roll. Let's switch the scene while you're making that roll. Don't you worry, my friend.
Although actually, I am now imagining at some point in the future, like, like Mavet being exposed to the letter of the law, and he just asks, wait, which letter is that?
I would so do that.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. So, yeah, I was just going over all the rules really quick, just make sure I don't really fuck this up. But as you're outside and looking, say you said you're looking by the nearby foliage or the garden itself.
It would be the garden itself.
Garden itself. All right. So while you're in the garden, and remind me, Eddie, about your the layout of the manor. Where would the garden be located within the manor? Give me like a relative, like a relative location towards everything else.
Relatively, like within like the whole estate. It's like I imagine that there would still be like some green spots area, like toward the front of the state, but I imagine that like especially if it was um like the at the space that is like mom cared most about, it probably would be like closer to the back so that it could be a bit more private.
Okay, closer to the back. All right. No, that works out perfectly. So it's closer to the back, and I want to imagine. I want you to imagine. Fuck, I'm forgetting your character's name. Mavet. There we go. Jesus. I want you to imagine Mavet. Like as you're going through the garden, you see a lot of strange things, from like flowers used in love potions to like actual living like vines and Venus flytraps that snap at you. There's a very earthy smell in the air, and even your hearing, it misleads you once in a while, because the natural sounds of the garden which would be like a wind through the air, the rustle of the leaves, is overshadowed by the gurgling of living plants and the snapping of jaws. But as you're taking in nature itself and being one with the garden, you hear the snapping of branches and what sounds to be like a very messy sprint as you hear a distant footfall and heavy breathing deep within the darkness, deep within the foliage, beyond the metal gates of the garden. What do you do?
Well, I'm on Eddie's manor, so I know I'm safe. So I'll just continue checking out the plants.
You continue to check out the plants, feeling secure. Yeah, and I guess like the final thing I would tell you is eventually you do hear like a large thud followed by an inhuman scream. Then you hear the sounds of steel on leather.
Well, at that point of hearing the scream, then I would know I'm not in danger, but someone else is. So I would try to see where that sound's coming from.
Okay. Let's put you on the map here. And let's move this fat ass otter and James. And let's put you onto the map. Oh, really tiny. All right, Mavet, you begin to go within the woods itself, and I need a bit of a investigation check from you to offer it. You see the roll at all, buddy?
You probably didn't see in chat, but he had to run and get his charger.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Alright, sorry about that. I got it.
Yeah. All right, investigation check, my man.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, with the -1, natural 20, 19. So as you begin to fall through the woods, you see that you come across a trail, I should say, and it seems like it was leading directly from the coast itself. And as you follow the trail, you see two sets of footsteps. It seems like one goes in like a serpentine, like a pattern, kind of a wave with the footsteps, while one is straight forward. Again, this is much like a running deer in a wolf situation. As you begin to follow through, going through the woods itself, you eventually see down in a grove with a pond, you see a figure clad in black with a gleaming silver dagger raised in the air. And it looks like it's about to arc downward. What do you do?
Do I have any more characteristics about the attacking figure?
Only that they are wearing a black cloak, they are fairly tall, and their hand is gloved in black velvet.
Do they have feet?
It's hard to tell.
Then I would shout, "Wait! What are you doing?"
And the head slowly turns back towards you, looking through the moonlight reflecting off of the pond and the slight fog spreading along in the area. You see a very pale and featureless face with long white hair. And I need a history check from you. I will offer you the roll. Wow. With a natural 1, you have no idea what this is. You've never encountered something like this. But it looks back at you. And you see its brow furrow. And its body slowly turns towards you as it says,
"What do we have here? A walking tree. What brings you on a stroll on a beautiful moonlit night?"
My name is Mavet Soha Fidash. I am the one who will become fruitful and also become many. I heard screaming, and I see you holding something sharp, so I am guessing you are hurting someone or wanting to. So I ask you again.
What I do is none of your concern, tree.
Well, it is my concern because I asked a question, and you haven't answered.
its eyes begin to bulge.
I walk closer.
As you do, it shrouds its face, covering its face with its hand. And it just goes, "Sorry, I did not mean to offend." And as its hand goes away from its face, you see that it's wood-like. And
I will
eerily
also cover my
close to
face.
yours. It is almost a reflection of your face. "I am sorry."
There's no reason to be sorry. It is a simple question. But you seem to have changed your face. Is this a type of greeting in your people as Mavet covers his face and then
My
puts it down?
people. My people. I am your people.
I disagree. You looked different not
You
all but a few seconds ago.
You cannot walk in sunlight. They do not understand our kind.
I
Now-
think you are attempting to trick me.
Yeah, so at this moment, what are your intentions from this? You see that he has a blade in hand, and what he is trying to do is make you docile.
I would
Or-
just keep approaching him, feigning my docile nature
Okay, so it
until I
seems
get
like you're
close and
trying
see
to
what's around.
you're trying to mislead him. Is that what
Yes,
I'm trying to get? Pretending to be friendly.
Trying to get closer to him because apparently I didn't see why he had his knife raised. So I want to get closer to see if I get a better look of what is going on, while also
Okay.
getting closer to him.
Yeah. So I need a deception check from you. And I will contest that with my insight. I'm going to make it blind so you don't know what I'm rolling here. Just make sure, is there anything you want to do to that roll as you're going on?
Nope.
Okay. So you're approaching...
I mean, my vet's not really the type to lie if he calls me on it.
He appears friendly as he is beginning to sheathe his dagger and put it to his side. Come, brother.
I don't believe we can call ourselves brother, but I shall come.
All right. You come closer and closer, and looking around him, you see nothing.
So I see nothing here. Were you just fighting the air with your dagger?
I was doing a ritual to the gods.
Interesting. So, who is your god?
I pray to the crescent moon. And I will allow you a history check.
First, I would like to look up and see what phase of the moon it is.
Yep. It is a full moon. You know, because it could have been either Seer mentioning it offhand or during your travels, especially with the amount of exposure you had with this particular god, but the crescent moon refers to Baal, the god of murder.
Oh, so you prayed to the god of murder, Baal. Well, it seems there is no one you're murdering currently, so we are not enemies, as it stands now.
And you just see the wood begin to creak into a smile. That is so, brother. Gives a slight dip of the head. Now, what do you do, Mabet? It seems like there is a pregnant silence at this moment.
Since I know there is a difference between murder and killing, it is indiscriminate. However, I will suggest you discriminate on your killing. I have friends with me who I will protect. They are, you may have heard of them, the Hayes family.
And you see the smile begin to frown.
I hope you do not have bad memories of them, as they are very good. But if you are to harm them, or of their friends, I will deliver you to your own god. And I reach out my hand in a gesture to shake his hand, and a promise.
Give me one insight check here.
Give it to me.
Oh, sorry. You are correct. I was making the roll myself. Yep. And I was doing so good with that, too. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to give it to you. Because typically with contest, a tie is how it was before the roll began, but with the perception insight check against stealth, it'd be matching DC. All right, I'll show you the roll die guy here. I got 11 for my stealth, and towards your earlier deception, he got a 18 towards his insight. Let me explain what's going to happen here. Is as he is going for the handshake, much like Assassin's Creed, you see the glimmer of a dagger underneath his sleeve with a little bit of a string that goes, or a ring that goes onto his ring finger with a string that goes towards a contraption along his forearm. And as he goes in for the handshake, it looks like he is going to attack you. And you see an aurora around him, a very murderous aurora. And we are going to initiate combat since he didn't surprise you whatsoever here. And we're going to do a bit of theater of the mind here. I'm sure you can use your imagination. It's against one opponent. You can dictate the distance here. Oh.
We'd be right next to each other since we're about to shake hands.
Exactly. That I don't feel the need for a map is not going to contribute too much.
You know, I do appreciate the visual now of somebody having a murderous rainbow aura.
Did anyone else think of Hisoka from
No.
Hunter x Hunter?
Which is funny because I've watched all of Hunter x Hunter as well. I just can't remember the character. Bad with names. Was that
It's
the
Hisoka's
guy?
like the clown boy.
Clown?
Like,
Yeah,
or-
it's
Clown.
Yeah, the pedophile?
Yeah.
Look, I know he doesn't have a physical attraction to the kid, but he gets really turned on the idea of fighting him.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, sorry guys. This I guarantee this combat will be quick here.
Look, it wouldn't be the first time that a shonen antagonist got really hard for fighting a teenage boy.
Yeah, 8 on 8. So you guys match and you break the tie. So it would be you first, my bet.
God, that is so loud.
Oh, I'm sorry. Music
I
loud?
almost went deaf. Yeah, the combat start was super loud.
I was gonna. Yeah,
Okay.
you might need to mess with Kenku a little bit, buddy, because I have it as low as possible on my end.
Okay, so first things first, we are going to do I link this? We
Sure,
are going to
brother.
activate the brooch of many sizes.
Okay. Approach.
So that gives me enlarge reduce.
Yep.
Sure, brother. We can be friends.
And he flings a dagger to his hand and tries to go for the stab, and you go for your brooch. All right.
And then with my bonus, because I'm trying to see how to use this. Equip.
As
to
an
link
action.
it.
Yep.
Okay,
So as
yeah, and then I will use
as
my
an
bonus action. I'll use my action to activate it, then my bonus action to turn the dial again.
Well, yep, I'm just going to reread it. Yep. Yep, overload. It changes size. Growing a second size category. All right, so you're going to become huge. Yeah, you're going to become huge.
Yes.
Okay. And I believe that adds 2d4, correct? Let me double check. Weapons, match. Yeah. Regardless, in this instance, it provides you 1d4 with your attacks when you grow towards the size. I'm going to say 2d4 is what you gain for going the additional size, because I'm not seeing many other benefits to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Along with
All right,
everything
so that would
provides.
be everything I got for that turn, so it's his go.
Yep. Just check. Yep. Yeah, so once per dawn. So it's not going to matter if we turn it off. It's getting close to next time. All right. So you are huge, and you startled the person.
You think you're clever.
And he wipes a hand over his face, and it becomes, again, pale white with a white hair as well.
I'll show you my true power. Ball guide my hand.
And he is going to try to attack you with his dagger. Nope. Did not mean to make that private. Does not matter, though, because it is a 7, and I guarantee that's a miss. And
Yep.
he slashes at the ear and misses you. Yep. Bada bing, bada boom, is your turn.
Okay, I can't take any actions due to the brooch. So
No, you
I
can.
will-
This is a new turn.
No, it says. Oh, when I return to my original size. Okay.
Yep.
So you said we're near a body of water, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I will attempt to grapple him.
Okay. Go for the athletics. I'll make the acrobatics check. I'm not going to be offering the roll. Just go into your sheet there. Just make it quick. That's a 12 against my 12. That's a tie, and that's before the contest began. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mega. I believe the grapple fails.
Do I get advantage because I'm 2 sizes
Yes, you do.
bigger?
Go ahead.
Just want to make sure on that.
Yep. I believe that Enlarge provides advantage on strength ability checks. Holy shit. There you go. You got him grappled. What do you do?
I will move with him towards the middle of the lake.
Yeah, I can easily say it. You're moving at half movement, though, but I can say the lake's within 15 feet. You get to the shore of the lake, and he is, like, right above the water. What do you do? My bad.
Sorry, it was muted. I will do it. Bonus action, flurry of blows.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. The typical unarmed strike as a bonus action is when you use your main action with a monk weapon or unarmed strike. You always get the bonus action, but the flurry of blows you're allowed to do regardless of what you spend your main action for. Am I correct with that?
The main thing is that he uses the attack action.
Attack
which is
action, thank you. A grapple. That is a special attack action, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
So he can make his regular unarmed strike if he wants to, but flurry of blows, yeah, you could use it.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good to know. All right. So flurry blows, let me see it. Okay. 18 for the first one, that is a definite hit. Okay, 6 damage. Make sure you're targeting the opponent, buddy.
Oh, my bad.
Yep, no problem. Targeted.
That Malvet punches himself.
Yeah. Even though I can easily do all this by myself, it just helps with applying damage quick. All right.
I targeted him, right?
No, you didn't, but it's fine. Was that lethal or non-lethal?
Non-lethal.
All right, explain how you knock him out.
Okay. So, Mavet, seeing that he was going to attempt to harm him, he holds the figure by the scruff of his neck and delivers 2 swift, unarmed punches straight to the gut.
Okay.
In order to knock the wind out of him. And is he unconscious?
Yep. He is unconscious.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
Then we will proceed, as Mavet always keeps his promises, to deliver him to his god. We are going to the middle of the lake.
Okay.
And as we wade, do I see the life draining from him, or does it seem like he can breathe water?
It does not appear that he can breathe water. What are you gonna do?
Then we're just going there, and once I feel like we've hit the deepest part of the lake, I am going to shove his body down and see if I find anything heavy around me to lay on top of his body.
Easy, you find a rock.
Okay. I will place that on his pelvis.
Okay.
And then I will rip open his shirt.
You do
And
so.
Mavet will take his claw hands, as they're rather sharp, and I will begin to claw a crescent moon upon his chest.
All right. Inglorious Bastards. I'm liking this.
Mm-hmm. And as Mavet looks through the sky at the full moon, he will look back down at the crescent moon upon this poor victim's chest.
Yep.
And he will take both hands, insert them into his chest upon the crescent, and rip the crescent apart.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Do you want to know my intentions with this?
Yeah, give me your intentions, because it sounds like you're applying damage.
Oh yeah, this is definitely going to kill him.
Okay, this will kill him. Okay, but yes, what are your intentions? What do you plan to do?
My intentions are to basically say, "Fuck you" to Ball.
Okay, so it's not an offering.
Oh. No, it's basically like I tried to be friendly. You weren't friendly with me, so fuck you.
As you do so, the moon glimmers a little bit, and you gain a boon, my friend, from the very god that you were flicking off, because murder is still murder. This is no longer self-defense. You killed this person. Roll me a D100.
The god ball is literally jerking off as you are doing this.
Yes. Yeah, just roll me a D100 here.
Shame. I purposely went for him one time, and then the second time I was trying to say F you, and he still comes for me.
Yeah. This is what happens when you kill people. Okay, roll me that D100 and I'll tell you what you get. Okay, 90.
Hey guys, let's talk about murder.
Yeah. So,
Do I get to learn another letter? The letter M for
M.
murder.
Yeah. So you get the Charm of Dexterity. It is one use, action. Your dexterity score increases by 6 for 1 minute. And you can use your reaction to move up to your speed without provoking attacks of opportunity. The effect ends early after you take this reaction. All right.
Can you link
Post in
that
chat.
so I can
Yeah.
add it?
Yep. I'm actually going to add the item into your inventory. You can read it. Or, yeah, just look at it quick. Be sure to copy and paste it.
That is like a very terrifying power boost right there for a monk.
Yep. Yeah, just to be absolutely clear though, the movement buddy will end the effect if you decide to do so. Yep. But this is something I'm going to start including when you guys do something I appreciate, or if you guys appease the gods, you will get charms.
So is there a physical item in my inventory that I was granted?
Yes.
Or do
it
I just
cannot
feel
be-
like a blessing?
Meta-wise, there is going to be an item in your inventory. For you, the player, it's not material. It cannot be taken away by you or given away. It is something only you can have.
I was going to say, like, specifically with Mavet, he just, like, grows a branch.
Ooh, I'd like that. So
Yeah.
Mavet grows a little branch out of his back, and if I want to activate it, I'll just break it because it's a single use.
Yep. Exactly.
And then, so after I defile this body, I walk out of the water, all cool guy style, and I guess I head back to the Hayes Mansion.
All right, you're getting ahead of yourself, my man. We're not done with the scene. We got one more tiny thing here. All right, it's in your
That's
inventory.
when the ninjas come in.
Yep. It's in your inventory. Make sure you delete it when you use it. All right. So as you finish this dark ritual, are you leaning into it that this was meant to be a sacrifice, or like how do you portray yourself that this was meant to be a defacement towards the god?
So it was supposed to be a defacement, but it kind of backfired. So how do I feel about that?
No. I'm asking, like, explain the actions a little bit more. I know that you went into detail about what you did to the corpse, but how is Mavet holding himself? What is he looking like? What is he doing post-ritual?
So after I have separated the moon on the man's chest, Mavet has a smile on his face, being like, "Yeah, take that, bad god," as he's thinking to himself. It's like, no one hurts my friends or Eddie.
Yeah,
That's
Hayes,
really what's
Eddie.
going through his...
I guess you do hear a whisper on the wind then, because you mentioned Hayes, you mentioned Eddie, you mentioned that you're close to them.
I doubt that's likely. I'm still underwater.
Yeah. When you get out of the water, like you were mentioning earlier, to go to the Hayes mansion, at that specific moment, Rakusen, you would hear a whisper on the wind. And it would be something along the lines of,
Do you do that to all strangers?
As Mavet whispers out loud, only to ones who wish to hurt Eddie.
What about those who seek aid?
Those who want help, do you kill them?
No. If they seek aid or the right means, then I can give them aid.
Would you help me?
Well, what do you want?
I need to leave. They're chasing me. I need to leave.
Okay, I can help you. Why are they chasing you?
They wish to take me from my family, to hold me hostage. They've done terrible things to me.
Did you do terrible things to them first?
No! Just wanted to take care of my people. They don't like us.
Well, it seems noble enough, but I only hear your voice. Where are you?
You scare me. I don't want to run anymore.
Well, if I scare you, then why would you want aid from me?
Because you know the Hayes family. They'll help me. They've always helped.
Well, do you know where the mansion is?
There's like a pregnant pause.
I was only there when I was a little girl. I don't remember where it is. I don't even know where on the island I am.
Well, if you're frightened of me but can see me, that's where I'm heading now. If you want to just follow me there, we can meet outside the gate. But I must warn you, someone has already played a trick on me, and I have ended their life. Don't make me do the same to you.
Yeah, no need for a check. The entity is intimidated. You hear silence, but you see like the cracking of leaves following you as you head back towards the manor. All right, Eddie. Sorry, we're gonna get to you in a little bit, but I'm gonna wrap up with the other girls before everyone gets brought back together.
Oh, no worries. I feel like the girls have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I do too. All right, girls. I want to imagine 20, maybe 30 minutes pass. Is that fair to say, just to give like volume to the experience, to give it the gravity it deserves, the experience everyone had? Just a moment to calm down, catch their breaths.
I mean, my question for Aluya, if this is okay to ask you, is would you want to stay there for 30 minutes, or would you want to be like, well, we're done, so we're out kind of situation, you know?
Well, no, she'd stay because you have to deal with this person, and in her head, if worst case scenario, if we have to deal with them in a physical manner, we can just leave their body in the cave.
Fair enough.
All right. So, about that time passes, the exact amount of time it took for Mavet to deal with his shit. That was like everything Mavet did was during this pause. And all of you begin to start moving, albeit quietly. There's but a bit of a murmur, and you can just see that Captain Eddie has a grave expression on his face. He realizes the gravity of what happened, and you just see him mouthing out curses. begins to go back to his desk. And I think he might finally just open up and say, to the both of you,
Sorry there, lassies. I did not expect that type of trouble.
and you see him just wipe at his nose. His accent thickens from the curse of the blade.
I thought Dragon would keep its word, but apparently I be a sorry sea dog.
Yeah,
The-
that really threw us through a loop. I thought the dragon was like, you have a meeting, this ancient, scary being. It's just like you and the dragon, and we're new here, so we were going to be bystanders, and well, that fucking sucked.
You can say it,
I-
Aluya, that they try to mug us. That's just how it is.
Aye, lassie. That dude fucking suck. I be sorry.
And he shakes his head.
Look here. You held your own against the dragon. I'll put in a good word for you, the Quagmire. I'm sure you'll make it far.
And he looks both of you in the eyes, then towards the changeling and scratches the back of his head.
Now, not sure what to do with him.
Looks towards
Well.
Seer. Yep, go ahead.
So, he is for my friend to chat with, play with, whatever. You said that we could have him. The dragon left him.
Strokes his
I-
chin. Go ahead.
I'm just excited to see what I can do with this rare gift of mine.
Will it be painful?
We will find out with the fact that, well, I have many things to play with.
See his nostrils flare a little bit.
He be no use to me. Take him.
Gives you a bit of a nod.
Janet Jackson, I know you're the muscle of my situation. Would you do the honors of dragging him along?
Of course. Hey, come, new pet. We will take you with us.
You just see him squint his eyes like he's really throwing out some slurs and swears.
I like it when they're lively. It means they can last longer.
Honk you! Honk you!
I do that on a daily basis, thank you.
All right. Well, let me touch base here. Is there anything else you want to bring up with the Rebirth Bastion? Anything else like you guys want to discuss? It seems like they got the they got fucked over by the dragon, and they're pretty sullen over the experience here.
Yeah, just one quick thing. As Aaliyah is kind of dragging off their new friend, an old friend, she'll kind of do an about face. Quick question.
Aye.
Seems like you have information about things. Would you have heard of the, what do they call themselves? The Crimson Feast.
lulls his head shoulder to shoulder. Aye, lass. Used to be a gang down south there in Drogport, and scratches his temple. No, they operate in Giuliano, the capital, St. Enfys. Yeah, nowadays they have a pretty firm grasp with the underbelly of that city. From what I understand, Hayes family and Crimson Fist have a bit of a deal with smuggled goods, if the Sea Dogs be speaking true.
Correct. Would they be a hindrance to our cause, or you just do not care? Or they're not a blip on the radar?
Haven't stepped on our toes yet.
And if I was curious to look for something in this organization, would you happen to have a connection or information to infiltrate?
Scratches his chin a little bit.
Aye. We be greasing the palms of one of the members. I've got an informant in St. Enfys, right in the heart of the capital. But could send a letter, have him go wandering somewhere if it's that important. Least I could do for someone standing by me during such a maelstrom.
Be okay with just the name if you don't mind.
It's a nod.
Does he have a name?
I'm going through my notes. Give me one moment.
Oh.
Yep, there we go. Alright, there it is.
His name be Roderick the Rascal.
Well, I thank you. And I guess be well, and we will see you soon.
Don't you want a description of him, or?
Oh, right. What does...
Or are you just gonna ask everybody on the street?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just excited. They're like, oh, their name is Rascal too.
Yeah.
Aye. Long ginger hair, bit of a stubble, can never grow much on the cheeks, bit of a neck beard, has a crooked nose, and missing his left eye. It's quite the appearance on him.
Long hair is a carrot top, a stubborn, broken nose.
Just make sure I didn't say blonde, did I, by accident? I meant to say ginger.
You said ginger, yes.
Yep.
You definitely said ginger. They just said carrot top.
Oh, carrot top. I heard blonde. I'm sorry.
Wow!
And missing left eye?
Aye, missing left eye, crooked nose. Can't miss him. Has quite the appearance on him. Weighs a couple tons, too. Got a bit of a belly on him.
Well, all right. Sorry, I was excited before seeing this new
Aye.
pet.
It be the dragon fear. We all felt
Yes,
it.
that too. So we will meet up eventually. See you around.
second. Again, I'm going through a lot of names here. Make sure that I say it
Enfys?
right. Yeah, Enfys. Saint Emphas. The capital, Giuliano's usually either called, Giuliano City, much like, New York City and New York, but its nickname is also Saint Emphas, much like, most states having, or at least in my state, having the state capital called after a saint. If you want, you can do more research on that figure. He's fairly prolific. But, there we go. As you begin to leave, he will say, Gehenna, guide your steps. Gives you a nod.
Olivia dies a little inside and says to herself, Aeolus guide you.
Aeolus guide you. Yeah. But it does appear that they deified their leader.
Okay. Aaliyah will just kind of give a kick to the changeling and say, let's go see it.
Ooh, keep talking.
All right. I don't feel the need to roleplay the entire travel there. I assume you guys take a smart route to avoid people seeing your prisoner, keep him cloaked up, and just try to make your way to the Hayes estate without being seen by the protesters.
Oh yeah, if we have to, we could do alter self and look like guards. Or no, like we would at least look different, you know?
Yeah, whether it be by disguise or going through a secret entrance or like Eddie guiding you guys, I'm not gonna pull your hairs on this. We already went through you guys spending a resource to avoid the crowd. You did it successfully before. I'm not gonna pull hairs here. All right. Is it safe to say everyone meets up around the same time in the Hayes estate? Before that, we have both these groups going on. I'm gonna ask you, Eddie. Would you prefer the group meet up and do role play with the party, then talk to your father, or would you prefer to have a private chat here and now with your dad before a long rest or before the party meets up here?
I would say I think he would probably want to try to actually I think it would probably be better if he did it before the party arrived.
Okay. Before we get too crazy, Mavet, are you there? Are you muted if you're talking, buddy?
Yes, Mavet is here.
One thing to make aware to the party, Mavet earned 50 experience towards himself. I'm not going to share that amongst the party since no one else was in danger. Other than that, Mavet, I need you to roll me a 3d20. This is all the currency you found on him. From your first to last roll, it will go copper, silver, and gold. Okay. 6 copper. 18 silver. 12 gold. Please add that to your sheet. Okay. Eddie, paint the scene here. I have something in mind for the convo, but I want to hear what you have first before I go into my tangent. Set the scene where you're meeting your father. Did you organize it in his office, somewhere else in the manor? Paint the scene.
I just assumed that because it was the evening, and this would again probably have been after Actually, yeah, like probably, yeah, probably like like again after that whole thing with the dragon, uh, he probably actually would have just like seen if his like a father was even like in his office where he assumed he would be, but maybe he was actually someplace different.
You know what's funny? The door's a little creaked to his office. And I presume that you would open the door unless you do anything else before you open the door.
Well, I mean, he would cock his head and like because like the last time he like went to the office and like it's like like hearing noises like, wait, I'm not interrupting something, am I? And it just kind of like leans his head in.
Hmm. Yeah, you lean your head in, and you see no one or nothing in the office. But what you do spot is a particular bit of parchment with a black ribbon to the side.
So head kind of like tilting to the side again, like, "Huh, that's weird." Just like wanders over to it. Does it appear to be like labeled in any way, or
Um, you do see a broken wax seal. Would you like to make a, quick history check for that? Because I can offer you one. Well,
sure.
yeah. So first, let me transition the scene here. Let's get away from the meeting. The meeting's done. You guys are done with this. Yep, perfectly over there. And let's request that roll. Eddie. And it will be a history check. It's not a high DC here. Can you tell me the result? I assume you also guidance yourself.
It's actually a 6 though. I might not know.
Yeah. um, it seems vaguely familiar. And the main reason this is important is you don't have an idea without reading the paper. That's an important distinction here. Do you read the parchment?
Yep. If there's nothing like really particularly like descriptive like on it itself, like then he'll open and see what it says.
Give me 1 second. I'm looking for my notes. I actually have this written down. Really do need to organize my damn notes back. Here we go. It says, "To the esteemed House of Hayes, with the utmost respect and reverence, I humbly extend my sincerest greetings to you and your noble family. It is with great honor that I, Isloth the artist, present myself before you, offering a proposal that I believe shall greatly benefit the security and prosperity of your esteemed household. In this age of uncertainty and peril, where shadows of treachery and turmoil loom even larger, I have dedicated my life to the pursuit of innovation and invention. As a humble mechanic and inventor, I have labored tirelessly to unlock the secrets of ancient craftsmanship and the mysteries of arcane engineering. It is with unwavering conviction and boundless enthusiasm that I now offer Reverend Patron James Hayes a marvel of my craft, the Automaton Guard Sentry. These wondrous creations, born from the fusion of art and science, stands as stalwart defenders of hearth and home, crafted with meticulous attention to detail and imbued with the essence of my ingenuity. These auto, son of a bitch, I'm stumbling on my own damn word.
Big machine man.
Yes, mata is the plural for automaton. Automata possess
Automata.
the strength. Thank you. The strength of 10 men and the vigilance of 100. Imagine, if you will, the sentinels of metal and magic patrolling the ramparts and corridors of their ancient abode, their gleaming eyes ever watchful, their unwavering loyalty a testament to their creator's craftsmanship. No foe, be they mortal or ethereal, shall dare assail the sanctity of your domain while under the vigilant gaze of these tireless guardians. Furthermore, I offer not merely the creation of these marvels, but also my solemn oath of service. As the architect of these automatons, I shall remain ever at your disposal, ready to lend my expertise and guidance in matters both mechanical and mundane. With profound respect and anticipation, Isloth the artist. And it's with this that your brain is starting to link a few things together. The Minotaur bull within Sheam, the war siege machine given to the goblins. You recognize that man's name. You've seen his inventions at work.
I wonder how long this has been going on, but I guess it's recent.
Seems like the most recent correspondence. I would say at this moment you probably hear, oh, not even hear, like the little plop of feet every so often. It sounds like someone like taking great leaps. You can only imagine it's your father teleporting down the hallway without walking.
Yeah, he did always shake the house.
But yeah, let me ask you before he does enter, like, what does Eddie look like? Is the parchment untouched, or like practically in the same place on the table? Are you holding it in your hand? Are you sitting somewhere in the room? What's your position?
I think he would have like lingered standing there, like holding it, but like eye on the door, and maybe in his other hand, probably like smoking on his pen. It's mostly because, like, again, it wasn't that long ago where a very stressful situation happened, and
Yeah.
probably need to take the edge off.
Eventually, like, the door begins to open up. And you just see Hayes looking around on the inside.
Oh. Eddie, what are you doing in here? It's quite late, my lad. My boy. I say my boy, not my lad. My boy. Oh, yeah. I've been talking too much with Captain Eddie.
It's like Eddie looks before responding.
Oh, sorry, Pops. I was looking for you.
Oh. When the devil do you have to talk about at this hour?
And you just see his nose wriggle in the air.
I mean, I guess it's really less about the hour and more just having the chance to talk about something that I think we've been avoiding.
Oh, and what would that be?
Well, Pops, how long did you know that something was wrong?
I think there's a pregnant silence as he just stares at you.
Please, boy, go on. What do you mean, something wrong? Why, I can tell you that we're always in danger, and it's wrong to have assassins in the room with us. What do you mean by wrong?
Well, Pops, I can't imagine that there wouldn't be any alarm bells for your 5-year-old pup being covered in the ashes of several assassins after just being kidnapped, and with a smile on his face, not knowing what was happening.
He doesn't continue. He just squints and weirdly enough begins to walk. Doesn't teleport, just walks. What else does Eddie say?
Or even the time before that, when he'd been kidnapped and held hostage for several days. And then the next time when you finally found him, he acted like really nothing had happened. Just asking about how your trip was.
My boy, the Nexus does a lot for us. You may not appreciate the boons and gifts that it provides for our safety. But if it happens, it must be done, my boy. You must go with the current, not against it.
It's not really that it happened, Pops. It's just... over the last few days, my brain has been putting the pieces back together. And there's just so much of my life I didn't know about.
He crosses his arms and gives you, it just gives you the face. And it's just the face that he wears during negotiations, is the cold and steely face and gaze. Not a single emotion passing through it. And I think he might actually continue off of your little metaphor.
What do you see when this puzzle's put together? How much of your life have you missed, my boy?
Well, some gaps are bigger than others. But I think one of the bigger ones would have been when I was dating Riv.
See a slight quiver on his bottom left before he stops.
It breaks my heart every time you say that. Every time we talk about and get together, a moment with him in the picture. We had to play pretend. He never existed.
See him beginning to light a cigar.
What were you afraid of?
I was afraid for your safety, my boy. The Nexus does not act unless for a reason. If it was to protect you, then I know, deep down, I know it was right. You weren't ready. You need to be a strong head of the family. You need to be ready for the position. We can't let any cracks or fissures happen to you, my boy. You weren't ready for the truth. You weren't ready for the trauma.
You see him take in a big breath.
But you're different now, my boy. Stand straight. My God, you even have calluses on your hand. And your eyes. God damn those eyes. They got steel behind them. Looks like you finally have a backbone. Looks like you're ready for it all, my boy. You're ready. Ready.
Well, hopefully not too ready. I'd still like to have you around, you know?
Oh, I don't see myself going anywhere. Just like Grandpa and Grandma, great-grandma...
Sorry.
Just like your grandparents and great-grandparents, I'll be sticking around. Hopefully I don't find a dagger in my back one day. And if I do...
And he squints his eyes.
Don't take this the wrong way, my boy. I hope it's from you. Prefer it happen from family than a stranger.
Well, I guess I mean more making sure you're taking care of yourself right now.
You kidding me? I'm in the prime of my life.
And as he says that, you see a little bit of fire, like a snake out of his mouth. Seems like, although he's been keeping on a mask, it's really been tearing him apart on the inside.
Pops, it's just us.
my boy. And he takes in a breath of his cigar. I want you to have fun. Go on your journey, but be ready. Be ready. You see him try to take a step, and like as he does, you see pain flare up in his face. Then he shakes his head, and you see him disappear and reappear at his desk, lounging back on his chair. And you see him forcibly. Yeah, if you look at his face, he's looking down in his paperwork, quill in hand, as he tries not to look at you. And each time he blinks, you could swear that his eyes are a bit more glossy. He's holding back some tears.
So, Pops, like, we know what we have to do to make sure you get better.
Eddie, my boy, I've seen clerics of all kinds, apothecaries. I mean no offense to your dear friend, but even though I don't need to, I won't hold my breath.
Even if you don't trust in Seer's word, I do. You have to at least try. If not for me, then for Mom.
You see the quill scratched a bit louder at that.
Boy, my boy, you make it sound like I'm accepting death with open arms. That's not how the haze goes. We're strong, resilient. We look death in the face and we spit in it.
And you just see him begin to cough, and as like a fire spits from his mouth, it's licking on his fur, burning it, and you see like blood begin to spatter on his hand. And he just struggles to catch his breath.
It's not that I don't get that, Pops, but if we... I just don't want you to dismiss the possibility because you need to put up a front for me.
And you see as he recovers and takes in air. I think he actually, you know what? I'm gonna offer you a persuasion check here. Let's see if your father will confide in you and show a bit of weakness here. Just so I get in the habit of it, I assume that's your intentions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, with a 25, you just see him pulling out a handkerchief with a JH on each corner in a very beautiful cursive. He dabs his mouth, and you see crimson dye the white cloth.
Boy. Every breath hurts. Feels like 1,000 tiny needles stabbing at my stomach and at my chest. My throat. It feels like it's constantly on fire. It hurts. And I want nothing more than just to sleep. And just to keep sleeping because of the pain. Looks you straight in the eyes. Let me tell you this, my boy. Nothing in this world hurts me more than having to tell you this. See, again, a little bit of quiver on his lip. I'm trying my best to stay active, to keep moving, keep the face of the Hayes family strong, but I'm afraid that you may have to step up soon, my boy. Very soon.
Is that what this is about, too? As he kind of like just puts the parchment down on the desk.
You see him look at it, and he frowns with one corner of his mouth.
Boy, look out the window.
And even just a glance, you can see the light of torches and the rising of smoke.
This entire island has been becoming more and more disorderly. And it seems like every week we have people banging at our gates. I'm truly afraid that it'll be more violent than that. It'll be more frequent. And we're losing more and more men to guard this island. I don't even trust most of the people that I pay. One could be an ear, another one could be a dagger hidden underneath the cloak. This,
And he taps his finger on the parchment.
I'm starting to see this as the only light for our island to survive. The only way to keep order existing with our family at its head.
Can you really trust this guy?
I think he stares at you for a long time.
Eddie, there are only two things that I trust in my life. And that is the Haze and the Nexus. No, I can't truly trust anyone. But I don't feel like it'll be a threat to us. the power it gives, Eddie. Don't feel fear for our safety. Even the idea that they could turn on us. No. Feel like this is just a easy and practical method to keep order on the island.
So then you have a failsafe in mind?
Leans back.
Yes, I do. I have a couple artificers that I know who would love to look at this. I've got a few deals in my back pocket, but this is the linchpin.
Tapping on the paper. It seems that he is just very confident that this will not escape his control. And even if he does, he is confident in his power to destroy any opposition or any cloaks and dagger issues.
Okay. I guess just letting you know that probably here pretty soon my friends and I will be off doing what needs to be done. Do you have any way of sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have any way of getting the materials you need for your condition, or any favors left to call in?
You see him begin to grimace.
You would have talked to me before the whole hubbub of our communications being brought down with Frostheart. I would have told you enthusiastically, yes, I do. Seems I might need to outsource to some help to travel north to get what I need. I feel confident to stay stable for a while longer, and I perhaps might have a way getting what I need.
Do you see him getting more traction, more momentum as he says that?
In fact, I was just talking to your sweet friend, Eddie. Captain Valentine. Made me a promising deal in exchange for an expedition to retrieve his ship.
And he gives you a crooked smile.
Seems like your old man's going to get a few discounts with some smuggling.
Oh, I'm excited. And you see him patting his large stomach.
Oh, you two talked?
Oh, we hit it off! Once we got through a few misunderstandings that you cleared up for us, it seems we have a couple things in common. A common eye for the gold piece, as your granddaddy would say.
Okay, so that's all you talked about.
Yeah. It appears that one issue is resolving itself.
Oh. I do have some work to start doing, my boy, but there is one thing I would like to touch on. This
Anything,
place
Pops?
that you're going to, are you traveling by sea by chance?
I guess, in a sense.
No. If need be, if you're going a fair distance away, I can provide a ship. Can't guarantee the speed on it, but if you're going anywhere nearby, I do have something for you, my boy. An old companion that misses you dearly.
Old companion?
Oh, yes! Yes, my boy. Yes, Seafire, the fine steed. Hippocamp, right in our little stables down by the coast. Got a few of them that need to stretch their legs.
Oh, I can't remember the last time that... I guess it's been a while.
Yeah, flashback to little baby Eddie playing with a water horse by a beach in the sand.
Just an offer, my boy, just an offer. Don't know where your travels may take you, but just know that we're always at your back, Eddie. We're ready to line your pockets for whatever you need. And nothing but the best for my boy, that's what I say.
Well, maybe don't be afraid to hold back a little bit. Granddad kind of did the same thing, and Grandpops didn't really like it that much.
Unless you have a finishing note, I would like to cut the scene with like a perhaps like shared laughter between like father and son at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And again, if we look at the clock, I'm gonna say like the actual time did pass. That is currently around 10 o'clock, and everyone begins to reconvene at Eddie's bedroom, unless Eddie has like a spot in the manner they'd prefer to meet.
Well, honestly, like if they all wanted to, like they probably actually could have met in the dining room, because I imagine
Oh,
some people would probably
that's
want
cool.
to stress eat.
Yeah, I like that. Like, let's have a crazy meal here.
Just like the best candles, nothing but the best for Seer.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's specify here. At the table itself, the camera pans across the food, and although there's a lot of like spices, fruits, and essentially like a lot of motifs from the island itself, there is an absence of fish or anything from the sea. It seems like cattle, like meat, pork, mutton, like just a bunch of like I would even go so far as to say gourmet like dishes, along with a pig with an apple in the mouth, being the center of the table. And as we pan down the table, I imagine Eddie at the head, then the girls side by side on one end of the table, then Mavet on the opposing side, probably nearest towards Eddie. So like long
Well, we would have to
table.
resolve something on me
Yes,
before I get to the table.
Yep. We're gonna get to the resolving both of your companions here, But just to set the picture a little bit, I imagine Mavet near the head of the table, then the girls also near the head of the table, leaving the rest of it empty.
I actually imagine Mavet like awkwardly standing next to
Yes.
Eddie, just like
Wanting to respect the wooden chair. Grandpappy.
I don't
All
eat.
right.
I don't need to eat either.
Yep. Yeah, much like a butler. All right, so let's go one at a time. Mavet, you started us off, so let's go back to you again. How are you resolving your situation?
Well, I had the leaves following me, so
Yep. Well, imagine the
Are they in
crinkle
the
of
room?
leaves. Yeah, no, don't imagine that it's leaves following you. Imagine like you see wet footsteps, like crushing the leaves, and they seem like very petite and small footsteps.
and are they in the? Do they follow me inside?
It's barefoot, and you see mud tracked into the manor if you make no stop or hesitation.
Well, the first thing I would have done is told Eddie. So, Eddie, there was this madman out in the woods who I killed. Sorry. But I told him not to hurt the Hayes family or any of us, and he didn't really accept that, so I ended his life, and I said some mean words, or tried to his god, but he didn't. The god seemed kind of happy about it. I think it was Ball, so.
Before you answer, Mega, if you don't mind, Rakuzen, if you're gonna have a conversation with Eddie already, do you mind if the backdrop is still in the dining room?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So that's what I'm imagining.
I figure I'm the last one to arrive.
Yeah, and the girls are at the table. Don't worry, we'll get to you two about your prisoner or your changeling. But first, let's resolve this. So go ahead, Mega.
And after I killed him, there was this scared voice who asked for aid or if I was going to hurt them. I told them I wouldn't hurt them as long as they don't harm you. And I think they followed me here as I point to the footsteps, which I'm sure with your wondrous eyes, you might be able to see them as I can't.
Well, let me specify. There was tracks leading into it, but eventually the mud and dirt gets rubbed off by the point that you guys get to the dining room. So I would say like the only evidence Eddie has is your word.
So yeah, I think someone's in the room with us, or they may have stopped following us before we got in here. But I promise you, there was someone following me. But I don't think they'll harm us because they know I will end their life.
Well then, whoever you are, you're free to come closer. I won't hurt you. And so long as you don't hurt me, Eddie won't either.
I would never hurt you. Never.
That's just what you hear, like reverberating off the walls. And you just hear like quiet footsteps, like probably getting closer to Mavet.
I'm sorry that I came unannounced. It's very uncouth of us to do so. Usually we have to ask for an audience. I hope that your wooden friend would suffice.
I mean, honestly, I'm a pretty chill dude. I'm not big on appointments, so this is fine.
Can't see it, but you can assume that the pregnant pause is astonishment.
I just want to make sure. I don't want to be a bother. I I've been chased by skinwalkers. They captured me and dragged me across the sea. I was so scared.
Oh, that must have been really rough. Do you have a name?
Yes. Just let the DM read it a couple times in his head so he doesn't fuck it up. I'm Shalenua. I'm the daughter of... I am the daughter of General Lyalarin. And I'll make sure to put that in chat. I don't really think a check is necessary here. The significance of the last name is the Sea Elves of Frostheart have an oligarchy, and one of the prominent members that influences the council is Lyalarin. He is the generals of the army, and he's been the one leading forces against Giuliano and all the opposing alliances. At this moment, I know I've said it a couple times, but I feel like it's important to have a little bit of clarity at the players involved one more time, if you guys will bear with me. So, with the government you guys escaped from, they're part of the Revenant Triad. That is Giuliano, humans, Thubaran, the Yanti, and its gnomish slaves. And you also have Findle. Those are the dwarves. It's an unannounced and technically unsanctioned country. They declared their own sovereignty in Adantis territory, but we'll focus on that another time. The important part of this particular alliance is they believe that the undead shall be risen and respected, and that industry will be the foundation of safety. Now, towards the Sea Elves in this particular area, at least towards the capital, they are part of the Primeval Alliance. They believe that the dead should remain dead, and that nature's growth is the duty of all living creatures. They are composed of Adantis, the regular elves, Lacus, the sea elves of both seas, and the Tritons, as well as Ispikost. Those are the Goliaths of the frozen... I don't want to say the frozen north, but north-ish. The important part is this is a general's daughter who is leading one of the primary forces of the Primeval Alliance against the Revenant Triad, or more appropriately, Lacus versus Giuliano. Sorry, that's a little tidbit, but I felt like clarity might be important here, as she just says.
Okay.
I am the general's daughter, but I'm scared to show what I look like. They've done such awful things to me. I look hideous! And you just hear her begin to sob.
Eddie would actually get up and does it appear to be coming from a particular location? Or...
You know what? I'm gonna say as she stays stationary, you do see like a small puddle forming on the floor, and that's just from how naturally wet she is. So you can get a general idea of her position.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure how far away she was. So I don't know if that was in my 10-foot reach or not.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I think Eddie would just walk over and it's assuming that she doesn't brush him off, just embraces her and tries to give her reassuring pats on the back.
Yeah. And
as you touch her, just guys, imagine like the otter, Eddie, just opening up his arms, embracing the invisible figure, and as you do so, much like an octopus, like losing its camouflage within the water, we see a ripple in the air, then color begin to form, much like watercolor paint being dropped into water. So paint within water. And we begin to see this figure form. And I'll show you all a picture. As you see a squid-like face and a ropes. And I would say like the ropes is almost like a belt gown dress once it gets towards the hips. She is wearing a cloak. And there's just a bunch of pearls, seashells, and a seaweed acting as the belt. And the tentacles from the face droops down towards the breasts. And it truly is horrific. She is naturally wet, spongy, she smells awful. And last time you checked, the general's daughter was a sea elf, not an abomination like this.
Yeah. So
everything's going to be okay, all right?
They did so many horrible things. Why? Why would they do this to me?
So Eddie like pauses for a moment and like kind of like open like like opens up a bit so that he can make sure to like look in her eyes. Like, how tall is she again? Sorry.
So with the sea elves, they typically go about 5 feet to 5 to 5.5 feet. She is 8 feet tall now.
Okay.
She is unnaturally tall.
So, in which case Eddie will like look up at her.
Then this is very important. Did the people who took you away, did they say anything or try to ask you about anything?
They kept torturing me with their plots. Kept telling me. They kept telling me no one would miss me. That I'd been replaced. That my father's daughter was beautiful, and I was an abomination that no one would believe.
So you know that's not true, right?
I don't know anymore. All I see is these nasty tentacles.
And it just begins to wriggle and writhe with her emotions. And in fact, this is an important part to tell you that her skin keeps changing with her mood. And it just switches between like a purple, a pure fear.
Well, actually, if you don't mind my saying, I've met a lot of people and smoked with even more of them. You'd be a catch for a fair amount. I met this one tabaxi, and they're just like really into tentacles.
I'm not even sure how the fuck she would respond to that. Yeah, stunned silence, same as me. I'll go with that. It's just like, what? And she goes from a purple to a hot pink, imagining that. If you don't mind, Eddie, I haven't heard from the girls in a little while, and This was a we're not going to end.
You know, this would be a great time for them to walk in.
Yeah. No. So first of all, girls, what are you doing with your prisoner?
Well, that's the big thing that kind of makes it complicated is that if we're at the Eddie's Hayes estate, I don't think it would be something that's just with us. I think it would be very much the situation where it's like the group would be involved.
Complete freedom of where you want to drop him off, where you want to put him. He is your total prisoner. Luya, your thoughts as well? If you're talking, you're muted. Or she just hates me.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I was like blah blah blah. I figured, we'd go somewhere private, since other people won't see him.
Okay.
So Eddie's room would be private?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good spot.
Okay, Eddie, be real with me. Like, do you have like children's toys from your childhood, or like did like Eddie have like a normal growth of like throwing shit out, bringing new shit in, throwing shit out, and bringing shit in? Like the main reason I'm asking is I'm wondering if there's a kiddie chair in there. And I
like, oh no, he
him.
holds on to stuff. In fact, I think in a previous session, like we discussed like like some of the like odd quirks of his room. It's like there's like the stuff that his parents insisted that he have, like in the case of his closet, like a number of like different suits that they hoped he would start wearing more often. It's like but then like having like his regular loungewear. So I imagine that there's probably like an equal amount of like dissonance in his room. It's like in that regard, where it's just like he probably still has like a chest full of like some things he held on to from childhood, like old action figures and it's like and like comic books. It's like so there's probably like a nice in fact, maybe the reason why he held on to it is because it's like the comfiest lounge chair he's ever had and has never been able to find a good replacement for it.
Yeah, so I imagine a lot of bright colors like yellow, blue, red makes up the chair. I wouldn't say it's quite plastic, but it's a very soft material, but obviously intended for a child. And I kind of imagine bound up and presumably still gagged, we see Pesk, the changeling, on the chair. And both of you girls like looking down on him. Now I need to ask, are you gonna be interrogating him, hurting him, setting him free? Like what's your intentions with this scene?
I mean, I would think we would keep him bound just in case.
Okay. I'm hearing.
Oh yeah, we'd have to keep him in bound because if we don't know his background, we very well could have been like, oh, we saved your life and then we put you through hell. But we would also just try to get to know what the fuck happened with him, just because the last time we saw him, he disappeared, literally. And not only that, but what was he doing here? Like, how was he captured and why? Because they were unhappy with him here, and I'm like, changelings are very hard to catch unless you were like caught them in a lie or something like that.
Yeah. Towards his intentions on the island, that would actually require a check, and we could move towards an interrogation. Keep in mind, he is hostile towards you guys, and any like mistakes or fuck ups could make him being an ally or being cordial impossible. I just want to make sure you guys understand the gravity of interrogating him. But towards like what happened to him, I can set the scene for the audience a little bit, and I guarantee like a person in his position would be more than happy to gloat about what happened, or not at least gloat. just really like try to sting you with guilt and make you feel bad, calling you insults. Yeah, I feel like that would fall suit with him along the travel, mentioning things here or there, or it might just come up in this room. But he says something along the lines of, well, for the audience, last time we seen this changeling, we mentioned this in passing, but this was during the time where we were not recording our sessions for this particular group with Aluya and Seer. With this changeling, he was assumed to be guilty of killing, poisoning people on a island filled with tribes of dragonborn and kobolds. And he was put on trial, and the party pronounced him guilty. Then, with a bit of sleight of hand, Mavet's previous character banished him as punishment. That was the bit of the blind side, and here's where I'll pick up here. Is the changeling Pesk would say, "You banished me. I found myself within the unseen public, drifting endlessly, and I couldn't find my way back. Oh no, I couldn't find my way back. Then, I met with the prince himself. Oh, Prince Nyx. He brought me back, and I dreamt day and night that being found back in the world of the living, the world of you," he sneers a bit, "common folk, and I would have my revenge." And that's the general gist that you get, is his leader, his prince, found him by happenstance. And through some means or another that he won't disclose, it brought him back from the unseen public. And the useful tidbit of information for you is changelings are not native in this realm. It seems like they are native to a different realm, which is dubbed the unseen public. Yep.
I think I know what I would say to them as they just say that, and I just look at them very much plain face, being like, well, let's put it this way. In your case, we just saved you once more from just being murdered. Again.
Once more?
Technically, yes. Would you want to be eaten by that dragon?
You exiled me the first time.
Technically, I didn't, but I understand why you would see that at me, since I didn't really choose live or die.
You were the deciding factor. You abstained. I begged. I pleaded at you. And you threw me away.
Well, that's your side of the story, and my side, we were trying to keep you alive. Thing is, we were not expecting you to disappear, since, if you remember, you were in a fog. And then once you reappear, we were hoping to move you and usher you out of the way. However, and this is the thing that I don't lie to them, I just very go like, you being gone was very much something we did not expect.
Yeah, I really do need to, like, at least illuminate two facts here. The first one is the party was split on innocent and guilty, and I believe Seer was the deciding factor. I do remember there being a lot of gravity with her vote in particular when she abstained, which gave a head towards the guilty verdict. And I cannot stress this enough. The banishment spell or the idea of exiling him was never mentioned. It was just a ass pull by a recusant before an execution. In his mind and towards everyone else in the party, they were going to kill this person.
Well, I chose not to, but go ahead.
Yes, you.
Oh yeah, just
abstaining.
making sure this is like this part is like super clear. It's like, because again, it's been a while.
Yes, it's been years.
The thing is that like there were intentions by the party to make an escape possible for him without this banishment. But then Rakusen's character at the time, as has been described, did a particular ass pull with banishment completely because the party could not actually communicate any specific plan with each other during the event.
Yes.
And that is what resulted in this. There was an
Yes.
intention to save him through a different method, but somebody else did something else.
The
Correct,
important part
but
is
he doesn't
there was
know.
no communicate. In roleplay, there was no communication. So in his mind, you guys were setting him up to hang. And
Well,
you
that's
ended
also
up
why I
banishing him. Yep.
Well, no, that's kind of why I mentioned it. It's because I'm not lying to him, nor did
Yeah.
I ever lie.
Yep. And yeah,
I'm just making
keep
sure that the record is clear for everybody. Just so.
The one thing I want to make sure that I did mention at that time, and I will repeat once more, is he sees you as guilty as the people that declared him guilty for abstaining.
And I hear that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not trying to
There's
reel back on that.
seething hatred in his eyes as he looks at you.
And that's why you'll see Seer just very much like they'll be just very much understanding, being like, you very well could look at me with hate. You very well could look at me with hatred as much as you want for. Honestly, I think it's well deserved. However, I do want you to think on this one thought. If you want to think on me. We are very fortunate that I was able to get us out of a situation where we all could have died once more. If you were remembered, you were going to be eaten by a dragon.
Very true, very true.
And the thing is, the very first thought we had was, how do we get you out? Not sacrifice you to the dragon, because if you saw the situation we were in, honestly, we would have used you as a bargaining chip if we were cruel people, but in this case, we're not. But once again, we saved you, and I don't expect a thanks, because in my case, you very well can't hate me. But I will let you know that we're here to save you once more.
All right, once more. I'm going to say this. What's your intentions here? Like, what are you hoping to achieve out of this? Are you hoping to transition him from hostile to neutral on your end? Or...
I would say so, because the key thing is that I'm, like I said, I'm not lying to him about, like, our situation, but it's like, no, it's true. Like, hey, we're in a situation where this dragon straight up mugged us.
Yep.
And it was threatening to kill both Aluya and I if we don't give the book.
Yep.
And not only that, but here's the thing. He was going to die anyway. And we saved him regardless of that. So we didn't have to save him. We actually went out of our way to keep him alive. And that's something logical that he has to realize, hey, you very much weren't a factor, and we went out of our way to make you a factor to save you.
No. I understand the logic of the roleplay. I'm asking, what do you want out of this before I call for any rolls? Like, what's the mechanical benefit that you want from this? Are you hoping to shift his nature to you? Are you hoping to gain information out of him? Like, tell me, like, just clearly, mechanically, what do you want?
First, definitely getting him to neutral, because the key thing is, like, he can hate me all he wants. The thing is, we need to talk to him and figure things out with him, because the problem is, you know, hey, like, we can't have our conversation if he's going to hate my guts.
Yeah. So let me tell you the boon and the consequence before I have you make a roll. If you succeed, it will transition him from being hostile to neutral towards you, and it will lower any DCs during an interrogation, or a conversation, is better put. If you fail, he will be beyond redemption. He will want nothing to do with you, and if you want information out of him, you will actually need to torture him.
I mean, by that point, I just would let him go, because I don't plan to torture someone, you know.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, the player, because I don't want, like, repeated rolls here. I'm going to tell you the gravity of the roll before I have you make it. Does that sound acceptable to you?
A little. Let's do this then. I would like Aluya to give their 2 bits into it because I'm doing the one-sided conversation.
Okay.
I'd like to see Aluya because if I remember correctly, Aluya was in support of keeping him alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before you go
Point, yes,
crazy, Aluya, are you hoping to achieve a different effect, or are you hoping to aid Moo on switching like him from hostile to neutral?
It would definitely be to help me because all this negativity is directed towards Seer.
Before
And-
we get crazy here, just to inform you, Moo, if that's Aluya's intentions, mechanically it would give you advantage on the roll, or Aluya could make the roll and you could provide advantage to them, regardless of who's making the roll. Someone's rolling with advantage, but the stakes remain the same with the same outcome.
Well,
I
that's
would
kind of
personally
why.
like to see. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, go ahead, Mika.
I would personally like to see like how Aluya uses her bumbling but good-natured charm to try to sway him.
Okay, let's see it, Aluya.
Hello again. I don't know if you remember me.
I dream of you every night. And he just stares at you.
Interesting. Anyway, I want to apologize for kicking you. We had to make it believable. So sorry there. And for the pet and the torture talk, all that stuff. Second, B, sorry for the banishment. We did not know that would happen to you. Most of us wanted to help you. We still want to help you. We are helping you. Things got out of our control, but that seems to happen a lot to us. It was with well intentions, and you don't have to believe me, but I can tell you this. Seer does not lie. Her heart is filled with good intentions. She really does want to help you.
Okay. Are you going to be using guidance for this?
So I'm gonna keep shocking Seer. I don't think so.
Well, I'm actually I hope Aluya is the one that rolls,
Yeah.
but I do need to check with you, Gray, and Mega on one thing.
Yeah.
Did I use my last Flash of Genius on the last encounter, or do I actually still have one more Flash of Genius?
I vaguely remember like you try and deny fate with how close the last couple rolls were, to the point where Mega had to spend his inspiration in D6 to change the outcome.
I specifically remember you making the sentence, "I'm using my last Flash of Genius."
Yeah.
Okay, I had to make sure because my character sheet didn't update that.
Yeah.
That's why I got to make sure.
Yep. Thank you for trying to be
Again,
honest.
It helps. It helps when somebody has good conversational memory.
Yeah. Yeah. Aluya. You. It sounds like at this time, like the spotlight's gonna be pitched towards you to make the persuasion roll by the sounds of Seer's role play and her intentions as a player. That's why I'm asking you. Would you like to guidance yourself?
Sure. Before we get there, I just want to say something else to him.
Go ahead. Yep, go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, I know the situation seems a bit crazy at the moment and you're still bound. Forgive us, that's for your safety and our safety. We do want to let you go, but we want to make sure that we are at least okay for the moment, that you can just still remain here so we can chat. Does that seem like something we could come to terms with?
Okay. Here's what I'll do. Because it sounds like you're offering him safe haven as well, regardless of how this plays out, I will, and I know this isn't typical in D&D, but fuck it, I'm the DM, I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm going to offer you a +1 to your roll, and I will take -2 to the DC I have in mind, which keep in mind is quite high.
Okay.
Yep. And in addition, no, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not that benevolent. Your guidance. Now, if you want to use your guidance, like I've said in social encounters, you need to be subtle with it. I need either a stealth check or subtle spell from you.
Okay.
Yep. If you do it out in the open, I'm going to negate the -2 from the DC, bringing it back to its original value. So it's up to your it's up to your choice. It just increases the DC seeing magic involved.
I know it probably won't work to my advantage. I don't think I want to use the guidance because I don't want to come off as trying to trick him in any way. So I'm gonna pass. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I will offer you the persuasion roll.
And I will give you advantage by helping you.
Okay.
And if there's any other modifiers or boons, static bonuses, keep in mind +1 to the roll. I'm granting that to you, so it's +1 to wherever the hell you roll. And I have a DC in mind here.
I'm so glad you allowed me to have Aaliyah roll because I have one level of exhaustion which would have countered the one.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Just make sure you can see the roll, right? Oh, sorry, I sent it to Eddie. I apologize, Eddie. Just exit out.
Oh, that would explain it.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
wait.
it's my bad. I forgot to shift it. Please go ahead. Again, it's been a hot second since I played with you guys.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. Oh!
Sweet Jesus. I rolled poorly.
All right. Anything that wants to be said or done before I speak further?
Sure. I'm kind of imploring you here to just take a step back from your feelings. I know it feels like from the beginning we were against you, and the whole you going away kind of solidified that for you, but truly, it was not how we wished for it to go. And frankly, you coming up again kind of makes us feel relieved that you were not totally obliterated.
No.
I can also add one more thing if it helps.
Yeah.
Cyril just kind of look and be like, whatever decision you make, safety's guaranteed. We'll even help you get out from the city if you need be, or re-simulate whatever you need to be to guarantee your safety, since we have no qualms with you and we very much just, as I already said, I'm not gloating that we saved you. I'm just very much saying that we are worried about your well-being in the sense that we will try to keep you safe because that's how we are.
Yeah, what I mean by anything before I move on, I meant more towards mechanically. Any inspiration, any abilities, anything to influence your role before I move on here.
I burned all my things. I got nothing.
Yeah, samesies.
Samesies?
That dragon encounter that burned all my shit, so that's why.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So, with that in mind, the DC originally was 20, and it got brought down to 18. You see his eyes begin to squint, and you feel him being more isolated, more mummed. And he just stares at you. And although you could talk to him, you don't feel like he's listening anymore. I want to leave.
Sure.
That is
That's
restraints.
fine.
Aluya will cut him free.
Yep. That is restraints. He feels his wrist. And he begins to make his way towards the door. He does not.
Before he does,
Yep. Go ahead.
Seer will put out a small little bottle and being like, extra security for you then. I'd rather you don't get recaptured once more. I'm planning to give him one of my bottles, a potion of invisibility.
You hand it over to him. He grabs the bottle. And he looks at you, Seer. And you see his face morphs towards your face. Then he looks towards Aluya. And you also see his face morphs towards your face. Then it goes back to his natural changeling shape. And he says, I never forget a face, nor do I forget being wronged. Trail. I won't forget you. And he leaves. You now have... I can confidently say this. You have a nemesis in the world.
Okay, that's like 3 for Aluya, so...
Sag.
Yep, it happens, and I do appreciate that your girl's stuck with the failure.
Aluya just tries to hug everybody, and then so many people just want to stab her.
Yeah.
All right, we can confidently say everyone's in the dining room just to move things along here. And it depends. So, like, at this moment, we can say the girls are now entering the dining room. And what is Aluya and Seer's reaction to seeing a squid monster in the room?
Oh, wait, she stopped being invisible?
Yeah, it's like I described it with Eddie, is when he hugged her, she began to turn visible. She has a squid-like face.
I missed that part.
I even showed you a
out on the
picture.
comedy gold. Well, I thought that's just what Eddie saw.
No,
because he's like
everyone
that.
sees that. Yeah, everyone sees it, and her skin changes with her mood. Yep.
Damn it.
Perfectly visible. Well, what do you want to do, buddy? Like, is there like a scene you wanted?
No, it's past it. It's past it. Hands off.
I don't think it is, because she recently turned visible. Like, within a couple minutes. I'm just aligning times here.
Mavet would have gasped and been like, oh my gosh. And I want to see what color she changes.
One more time.
Ah, my gosh.
Okay, he's being injured here. Repeat yourself one more time, Mavet.
Oh my gosh. Did it work that time?
Yeah, what are you trying to do, buddy? I don't get what you're putting down.
Just be like shocked by how atrocious she looks.
Yeah, I'll explain my confusion in a little bit here. But oh my gosh. I think she would turn blue, like depressed at that type of reaction.
See, I'm ugly.
What do you say in return, Mavet?
Don't worry, I thought I was, but yeah, I'll keep quiet.
She begins to cry. And at that moment, I would like to call for a quick break here. We'll reconvene in about like 5-10 minutes. Stretch your legs. And if people are all right, does anyone need to leave right away at noon? Or are people okay just to sit a little bit longer?
I gotta go at noon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Anyone else?
I might be able to, depending on if the wife comes home with the kid or not.
Yep. Okay.
Same thing for me. I could be a little bit.
Alright. Let's go with social intrigue. Alright. Let's set the scene here. We got everyone within the dining room. We have a entire banquet set out for you guys, and we have this monstrous tentacle woman. Besides Eddie, who maybe is still embracing her. The time aligned when they just walked in when you started embracing her. All right. So, is there anything amongst the party that needs to be said or done?
Well, we almost died.
That's a good icebreaker.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back. Have you been here long, or did you just get here?
We just got here, and there is someone very large in the room. Hello, new lady?
Crying after Mavet's comment.
May I introduce to you Jelenwa?
Greetings. Hope you get better.
I'm on fire, so we're both similar in some ways. I hope that we could be good friends.
You see her shrink a little bit. I want to say behind Eddie, but unless Eddie just turned around here, basically hiding behind Eddie as she sees two Genasi.
Oh, sorry, I guess, she's recovering from a traumatic experience with, well... Actually, he looks specifically toward Aluya. Actually, Aluya, you and her might have something at least a little bit in common. She's currently still processing a recent significant change to her appearance.
So ugly.
You're not ugly.
Your friend said I was.
Well, they lied to you. You've got legs for days, so take that. But yes,
There are
too.
plenty of men out there who would want you to strangle them. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to assume your preferences.
you were saying, Aluya.
Yeah, I too have gone a body change. But to be honest, I am really okay with it. You seem to be struggling.
It's not just the way I look. I'm worried. I'm worried what they're doing back home.
See her sniffling.
I feel like I missed a lot of info. Back home, is someone hurting you or your family is in danger?
I am Lenua Lyalaran. I am the general's daughter in Frostheart. They said they replaced me.
And I've been trying to convince her that's just stuff that they were trying to say to break her down and make her do whatever they wanted her to do for them.
Oh, now I need to ask Mavet. How in detail did you went about the perpetrator that you killed? Because I remember the highlight being that you sacrificed them to Ball, or at least killed them
No.
for a middle finger to Ball.
Yeah, I killed him for a middle finger to Ball.
Okay.
And, yeah, just mentioned that he was a follower of Ball and that I was worried he was gonna hurt the Hayes family and he was gonna hurt. When I went to make him promise that he wasn't, he tried to attack me, so I ended his life.
Okay, with the information presented, Eddie, that logic works.
Well, I could definitely say they're in safer hands here. I will also say you're in good company.
Yeah, apparently we have a mechanical security system now. It's a long story.
Just one particular thing, Mega, and I'm not sure if it's role play or use player. I do need to clarify that they're going to make the deal. Nothing has happened yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. It's
okay.
like
nothing's set in motion just yet. It's just now you know that your dad's about to make a deal with a dangerous individual that you've run across a few of his contraptions before.
Oh no, it's just like
yeah.
Sorry, I drew a particular conclusion because when Mavet was dealing with the assassin out there in the garden, like there was like an interaction with something metallic, and there doesn't seem to be anything metallic on this woman, or I don't think anything was said about what they were. So it's like again,
no.
I just assumed like maybe they'd already like encountered like something that had been like left in the garden.
Yeah. No issues. I just wanted to be clear with that. Eddie can work under that assumption. We don't need to backtrack. We can keep moving forward here. Let's see.
But
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'll go ahead and walk back on that statement anyway, because but anyway, and he'll just say instead,
yeah, security's pretty tight here.
It's just like looking over, like back up at her.
So, in fact, they were probably telling them something else about what happened to you, probably to get at your father, since he is a pretty important member of that army.
I'm always worried when it comes to the skinwalkers.
I suppose, like, your fear is at least understandable.
I beg of you, Mr. Hayes, all of you,
and she looks around the room.
Please bring me home. I want to make sure my father is safe.
Well, I guess you are in luck. I actually just spoke with my father not too long ago. There are plans in
Right, sorry. I'm actually trying to remember. Are we going to were we going to Frostheart?
Yeah.
Or
So I think this is a good time since like all the information spread about. I'm just gonna put it on the board. No need for roleplay. I'm gonna tell it to you guys bluntly. Aluya, you
Yes.
have a location to what's called. I need to look at the name one more time. There we go. The Tidewind Channels.
Yes,
This is a
correct.
location a couple miles off of the island, and it is essentially a passage of sorts that's underneath water to the point where you guys need to be able to withstand being underwater for long periods of time. If you can do so, your travel will be very fast across anywhere on Locus. A lot of these threads, a lot of the things you guys encountered, including Quagmire himself, seems to be leading towards Frostheart itself, especially with your guys' tight time limit with the people that you switched with. The idea is, by your choice, you guys go out towards the sea, towards this tidewind channel. Go through the passage, let it take you to your location, then move on from there. That is the broad and narrow of it. I'm just assuming
Okay.
we see a montage of everyone like exchanging information, pitching ideas, and everyone is on the same same ground.
Oh yeah, no, this is more just like, because this is over a month ago. It's like because this is stuff at least Eddie would have been privy to because they left the channel open.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
why. So yeah, like I'll restate then. It's like, well, as I guess luck would have it, we're actually heading into that direction pretty soon. If you really need an escort, then like we'd be able to do that.
Really?
I have a question though. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead, I'm just crying at the offer.
Well, it seems like we all have a common location, and Seer and I actually have a way to get there under strict directions. Should we stay separate and go our path, or should we go together?
I have a feeling that the gods think we should all be together to be easier on the GM. But it's just a feeling that I can't provide a mechanical benefit, but it would just be a headache on my part. Trust me, we're stronger as a group. We can travel together.
God, I wish I was a barbarian because I would say to hell to the gods then.
I like what you're thinking, Leah, but it's not necessary. You don't need to keep up the ruse with the being separated from the group for Genasi's sake. It appears this location is just essentially the equivalent of the underground railroads. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's patrolled once in a while, but not by Genasi. This is just a secret
little known
passage they
secret.
use. Yes, a little known secret that few people are particular to. Well, yeah, I lost my bearings there. The fuck was I even saying? Please, go on, Aluya. Do you have anything more to add to that, or did I answer your question there?
No, thank you, Chelenua. New to the group, your wisdom has really brought my thoughts together.
No problem. I've been told that I've been a mouthpiece of God.
Okay.
Okay. But because we're running on time here, is there anything else that needs to be talked about, done before we have our small highlights before departure? Because obviously we're still going to have a long rest. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to get everything in order here to move us on to the next moment.
Olivia, should we talk about the changeling thing or not?
I well, maybe if not everyone was in the room.
Take
Fair enough.
If you politely ask her, she will leave.
Like, hey, my bed's pretty comfy if you feel like you need to take a rest there.
I don't mean to impose, but that would be lovely.
And you see her leave. What needs to be said?
So a lot had happened. It was a clusterfuck. Aside from the dragon issue we dealt with, we came across someone very interesting. If you remember, Eddie, Pesk.
The being that's able to transform into numerous people.
Oh yeah, no, like, I remember the dude. Like, obviously I couldn't see what was happening there, but you guys seemed to be talking like you knew who they had bound up, so at least that confirms it.
Correct, and we actually rescued them and tried to communicate with them.
It did not go well.
They are still angry at me. And even when we were trying to show good gracious, honestly, Aluya, I think they really need to work on their mental health because they only look at the negatives and not the positives.
Agreed. We're giving an olive branch and he's shitting on it.
I mean, in fairness, he could just be a dick.
That's kind of what we propose. Let's put it this way. We find him again, we save him one more time, and then we don't save him again if he's being a dick. That's just what I would say.
All right. That information gets passed along here. Anything else before we have our little snippets with everyone in the group for the island?
Oh, by the way, since we're on the topic of that dragon, I think for safety reasons, we should maybe keep the book in my room.
Honestly, I think that's a great idea since I don't want either one of us with that book.
And
Okay.
judging by my understanding of the conversation I overheard, you would not be breaking your word to that dragon. So I think it works out.
I think so too.
Facts. The book is placed in Eddie's room, hidden underneath clothes in a closet or some shit.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm never clear when I say this, but I guess that's kind of on purpose. It's like,
Oh yeah,
what I mean is like Eddie will be keeping it in his
other
room.
Yes, in the room. I got you.
The room
I don't want
that, like if somebody
I
wouldn't
like
just
the
like
confusion.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like there is like in the back of my mind a potential comedic moment of like one of the maids just like going through his closet, cleaning up, finding a book, and then like being completely zapped by lightning.
Dead on the ground, Peter Griffin style, arm behind the back. Yeah, no. Bada bing, bada boom, it's done. It's in your little bedroom. Any more housekeeping? Okay. We'll have a moment with you, Eddie, in a moment. Mavet, you said you're gonna look for your loved one.
My loved one.
Yes, the guy that proposed to you on the island.
Oh, yes.
I'm
I just
not
want to
gonna
see what he's up to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have you make a check because you cannot find him. And if you
Your
ask
your
around,
fancy has abandoned you.
Yep, and if you ask around, no one has ever heard a person that goes by the alias that was mentioned to you.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, it's almost like you were imposing a politically powerful figure, and the person that wanted to be in your good graces may have had ill content besides being a gold digger.
Well, good.
Okay. Any other business on the island? Because I will allow room for people to say, hey, I bought this, bought that. Like, that's perfectly fine. I'm just asking any more highlights before I move on to a scene I have in mind with Eddie here.
I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be a highlight. It would just kind of be Aluya or Seer basically decompressing together because very much, wow, that sucked.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I guess like a last check-in with Valentine, I guess, since we're
Yeah, that was the scene
going-
I had in mind. We're gonna have a little farewell with Valentine and you. If that's the case, I kind of want to imagine the scene is at the beach, and we see a stable, and it's built on. I think it's plausible. Yeah, I believe sandstone could be found on a beach. So like we find like a rough patch on the beach with a structure, and within it you see like these weird creatures. They look like horses with green skin and gills. The front half more like a horse, the back half more like a fish, as they neigh and squeal. We see a servant spraying perfume onto each of the creatures, and if you guys like by chance ask them, okay, what are you doing? They would say in response,
Gotta make sure that the sharks don't get at them.
and keep spraying, keep spraying, keep spraying. Seems like they have a remedy to put off some of the more dangerous predators from preying onto their mounts. And they also spray all of you. But yeah, I want to imagine like on a sloping hill before the beach, we see like Valentine, like arms behind his back, and Eddie in front of him. Do you want to start this off, Eddie?
Hey, how are you adjusting after everything that happened? I know it's not really been that long. But
Yes.
just wanted to make sure that you're okay.
Looks up towards the morning sun. Keep in mind, long rests happen. It's the morning, and he just says,
Life throws me so many curves, so much bad luck. But I have to say, Eddie, you're the best bit of misfortune I've ever come across.
and he gives you a bit of a smile. His throat still sore and aching.
I don't believe I said this to anyone, not even my first mate, but I do believe I'll miss you.
Wow, I guess, I don't really know what to say.
Say less then.
And he opens his arms for embrace.
Eddie will smile and accept it.
Yeah. I kind of want to imagine the camera lingers on the two hugging besides the beach and then the camera pivots a little bit towards the horizon, towards where everyone's going, and we see dark and black clouds beginning to bloom in the sky, with lightning bolts flashing every so often. And within that blue lightning flashes, we see two figures in the shape of dragons dancing. And I feel like that is where I want to end the session for today. Thank you guys so much.
This has been House Common Blood. The intro and outro music is Oh My Dog by Savick, and any other music and sound effects used in the episode are royalty free. Credits can be found in the episode description. Please review us on whatever podcast listening app you happen to be using, and if you like us, tell other people. Word of mouth is the best way for us to grow. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you soon.